this is Richard Stack, and I'm a sales and product lead at Island Pacific Systems. Island Pacific is a 48-year veteran of retail software, and we provide software to some of the largest brands in the world. This particular product that we've just announced is a all-in-one retail platform, and what that means is with a single database, we're able to manage the entire retail life cycle. There are a few things that we don't do. One is e-commerce. Many of our customers are on the Shopify platform, so it's a very popular platform that we integrate to, and we also integrate on the finance side. So we don't do financial management. We work with companies like Workday, who's a very close partner of ours, to do the financial management. And there are other financial systems out there that we can integrate to as well. Now, if we look at the actual program, we're on the dashboard right now. And what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and just run through the different modules that we have. And we encourage you to, if you like what you see, to contact us for a more in-depth demo that relates directly to your business challenges. So if we start off here on the dashboard, we can go ahead and we can jump right into the analytics section. And here we can look at a wide variety of analytics and reports, including sales performance. We can do a margin analysis. It's very important as we're looking at margin across potentially by category, by product, by location. Refunds, what are our top refund reasons? Pricing history. It's interesting to know what price changes that we're dealing with. Tax reports, our location taxes, purchases. How are we purchasing? By hierarchy, by department, etc. Accounts receivable. This is something that if you have a B2B component to your business, you might provide terms to your customers and need to track that and track payments and aging. Accounts payable, similar fashion, but this on the supplier side. I want to be able to create an invoice from one or more purchases, and then be able to take a payment against that and have that flow into the financial system. We have the brand analytics. What are my top brands? How are they performing? Variant analytics. How are my different attributes like color or size? How's that performing? And we've got that report. Sales leaderboard. Who are my top and bottom salespeople? Who do I need to encourage in their day-to-day workings in the business? And then we have a voids report. We also have what's called location grading, and location grading takes both numeric values in terms of budgetary numbers, plus qualitative values, maybe store surveys, and creates an overall grade. And this is all real-time information, and you can track your grades for your businesses on a day-to-day basis as you go through the month. And then if we move on from the dashboard area, we go into our orders. So we have a full order management system. So if we go to the dashboard, we can see, let's say we want to look at orders for the last 30 days, and we're going to have a graphical representation of, our active orders, completed orders, canceled, service queue, etc. We also have customer management. So on the customer side, we can track, obviously all the incoming orders, but we can also manage loyalty. So we can have a loyalty system, we can have a points-based system, and we can look at the total points earned over the life of the customer and reward based on total earned points, or we can reward reward based on an ongoing conversion of points into store credits. So each customer can have a store credit balance, and then we can then use that store credit balance at the point of sale the next time they're in the store. It's a great use of a loyalty system. Inventory is really critical, and we have a weighted average cost basis for tracking inventory, and then we can also then drill down at any level of the organization hierarchy or the product hierarchy. So we might want to look at, let's say, our East region and apparel. And then we can just pull up that information and we can see what our numbers are. Products. We've got all the product management you would expect in a retail management platform. And we can drill down into a particular product. We can handle apparel products. We can handle a lot of different types of products. But let's say we'll go into the Miami FC jersey. And then we've got the hierarchy, the price. We can set up various pricing rules related to this, and we'll talk about pricing groups a little bit later, what we can also handle there. Suppliers, one or more suppliers related to the product, replenishment levels. Units would be primarily used if we have a consumer packaged good type product where I might buy by the case, sell by the each, and I need to be able to monitor both of those units. Items, this is where in my apparel I'm going to have multiple items which are different combinations of attributes into variants. So I might have size and color, I might have size and name in case of a jersey. And then modifiers, this is if you have any kind of food products, we can handle the ability to order food in the point of sale. So many retailers are putting restaurants or bars into their retail operations, and they're challenged. They usually have to put two systems in, where with us you can just have one system. Prepacks, once again an apparel concept, and then embedded barcodes, which can be you can scan a barcode that has an embedded weight or price in it. Pricing. Here are the price groups I mentioned before, so I can group my price changes, and I can click through, and I can have different currencies for these. So I can have a this is a multi-currency system, and then I can do permanent markdowns or temporary discounts and manage all of that with the price groups. Purchases. As you can imagine, we need to be able to purchase product. We need from our suppliers. We need to be able to have an approval process. We have all these different filters in terms of the status of the purchase. I need to be able to receive the order. I can partially receive. I can back order, and then I can convert those purchases into an invoice from the supplier and pay the supplier. Distribution. Distribution is how I'm handling my replenishment out to the stores from the warehouse, and I can set replenishment levels from there, and then also do inventory transfers from the warehouse or from the store to store. POS. We have a POS system, full web-based POS touchscreen. I'll log into my POS, click the POS terminal I have access to. In this case, I'm going to set my opening cash, and then I've got either the ability to scan product, I can search product, or I can also select product off the touchscreen. So let's go back to the logo jersey. We'll go ahead, and we've got it tells us what stock levels we have. We can sell an out-of-stock product if it happens that it's in the store, but it's showing zero stock. So I've got the Messi jersey at 0, but in this case, we'll do the DePaul jersey, the XL. And then we've got integrated payment processing through Stripe, and I can just hit my card, process the credit card, and then I can print the receipt, email the receipt. In this case, we'll do no receipt. A lot more features in the POS, and we can cover that in a more in-depth demo, but we'll go ahead and keep going. Suppliers. So we've got full supplier management, a lot of capability around suppliers. So we've got the suppliers themselves. We can have gradings of the suppliers, gold, silver, and bronze. We can go ahead and click through to one of the suppliers, and I can see the full purchase history. I can see the performance. And this is a gold supplier. It's one of my top suppliers. Spending trends, order volume trends. And then we also have the ability to alert you if for any reason a supplier is dropping. Maybe you've got a gold supplier that's dropping to bronze, and what's going on. And you're going to get an alert, and you can then reach out to that supplier, or maybe they're going to be maybe they're coming in for a meeting, and you want to know exactly where they stand with you. This makes it far easier to be proactive with your suppliers in an environment in retail where you might have hundreds, if not thousands, of suppliers. You need a system to be able to help you manage that. And then once again, we've got the AP capability, so we can do a new invoice, attach one or more POs to that invoice, and then pay that invoice. We have warehouse management. So if you have a warehouse in your operation, one or more warehouses, we have the ability to map that warehouse and then be able to manage all aspects of it in terms of, and then our heat map, we can give you some basic statistics on what's going on in each one of your bins in your warehouse. We have mobile ops related to the warehouse. So we can log in to our handheld with the scanner, like a Zebra, and then we can have various options here in terms of the stock movement, item picking, etc. And then finally, we have merchandise planning. So if we go in and we can handle open to buy, merchandise and location planning, assortment, allocation. This is all really critical to kind of complete that retail life cycle. And it's integrated all in the same database as your operational portions of the system. And then we have settings. As you can imagine, all the different parameters you need to set for a system like this. You know, if we go into definitions, we've got our fixed product hierarchy. We can edit what that is, but we can have 5 levels of product hierarchy. We can also then have a flexible product hierarchy, which we might use in our navigation for the website and for the POS. So we got some flexibility on the hierarchies for products, organization. You can grow from a very simple organization with just a handful of stores up to a very complex multi-country, multi-company organization, all in the same system. So you never have to leave systems as you grow with Retail Robot. So that is the basic run through of the system. Hopefully your interest is piqued and you'd like to get a more in-depth demo, and we would love to take you through a much more in-depth demo that's related to your business. Thank you very much.